Welcome back. In the Southwest, once again, the Roman Catholic Church has called for peaceful coexistence amongst all Nigerians, particularly residents of Osun State, in respect of social, cultural, and religious differences. The message was conveyed by Most Reverend Augustine Kasuja to Governor Rauf Aregbesola at the Government House in Osogbo, the state capital.
We have no ill feeling to any sect or religion, because we believe that religion is an instrument of refinement, an instrument of developing capacity for love. When and if religion fails to do this, you must ask the adherents of such religion if indeed they are practicing religion.
Just to show that for a church, the question of dialogue, meeting the others, Catholics and Protestants and the Anglicans, Christians and Muslims, is important, because today, if there is no dialogue, there is no peace. If there is no dialogue, there is no development. This is why the church invests a lot with this dialogue.
And in neighboring Ekiti State, members of the State House of Assembly, led by the Speaker, have moved the process of legislation to the streets of Ado Ekiti, the state capital. The lawmakers had their plenary on the streets to protest the alleged inducement by the federal government to impeach Governor Ayodele Fayose. The legislators are also kicking against the freezing of the governor's account by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC.
This is a plenary. It's a sit-out session of the State of Assembly to demonstrate to the whole world that what is going on in Nigeria is antithetical to democratic norms, and to protest the harassment and intimidation of members of the State of Assembly and that of Governor Ayodele Fayose. We, the Ekiti State of Assembly, that were elected by the people of Ekiti State, we have moved our seat, our plenary session, to this particular spot to tell the whole world that we have had enough of harassment. We have had enough of intimidation. You can see all our bags. We are ready for arrest. And we have said it again, and we are repeating it. Even unto death, we will not commence, we will not succumb to any pressure to impeach Governor Ayodele Fayose.
That's in Ekiti State. Now in Kwara State, staff of local government councils have taken to the streets of Ilorin, the state capital, to protest against the non-payment of their 6-month salary arrears. The protesters are alleging the diversion of allocations meant to offset the salaries by the state government.
As early as 8 a.m., workers from the 16 local government areas across Kwara State converged at the Labour House in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, to protest the non-payment of 6-month salary and arrears by the state government. Argument erupted between the Labour leaders and the protesters on who is to represent them at a meeting with the government officials. After the disagreement, the protesters walked from the Labour House through the police headquarters and finally arrived at the gate to the government house. The workers are seen sitting down right in front of the gate.
We want the masses to know the suffering we are going through. Majorities of our members are withdrawn their pupils from schools because of incapability of paying the school fees. Some of them have been dying because of lack of funds to attend hospitals. State government added another schedule that has not belonged to local government at all. What are that schedules? The funding of the junior secondary school education, no remittance of the federal government contribution to the pension board, no remittance of their own contribution, the state, to pension board.
Reacting to the protest, a senior special assistant on media to the governor, Muhyiddin Akorede, explains that the decision to offset the salary arrears of the teachers from the last federal allocation was a joint decision at the Joint Allocation Committee meeting.
So the suggestion was made to them that why don't you go back to the original arrangement as enshrined in law, that you make teachers' salaries a first-line charge. And at this meeting where this decision was taken, all the 16 local government chairmen were there, or their vice chairmen, and the treasurers of all the 16 local governments were there, where this decision was taken to distribute the allocation at 60% in favor of teachers and 40% for the local government workers. Norgay was invited for further dialogue on this issue. At that meeting, they declined.
The media officer, however, promised that efforts will be made to settle all salaries and arrears within the shortest possible time.
Finally, in the northwestern part of the country, one of the ways the anti-corruption campaign will work is for Nigerians to provide useful information to the anti-graft agencies about suspected corrupt activities in their respective domains. This was one of the suggestions from participants at a town hall meeting organized by Clean Foundation in Kaduna State. The meeting was called to evaluate the anti-corruption efforts, and participants emphasized the need to establish a special court for corruption cases. And on that note, we draw the curtains for this edition of News Across Nigeria, where we tell you what's happening now, northwest, east, and south across the entire federation. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for watching.